You are watching Regional Entertainment News, the best coverage of live entertainment and news in the Midwest. And now, another exclusive interview from Regional Entertainment News.
Good to meet
Thank
you.
you.
What's your first name?
Jeremy.
Jeremy. I got a grandson named Jeremy. Cool.
I want to say now we spent 3 hours in here walking over everything, trying to look at all the detail. You could spend days or weeks in here. What's it like being here and being a part of Bass Pro?
Well, it's absolutely fantastic, and I mentioned we did the same thing last night, and I've been through here many times over the last several years while we were building this museum, and it's amazing how it changes constantly, and it'll keep changing for years, to be honest with you. But you can spend so much time in here, hours after hour after hour, never begin to see everything. It's a wonderful experience to take your family, your kids. Anyone that loves the outdoors is going to be just totally enthralled. Even if you don't really know anything about the outdoors, you're going to learn so much and become, involved in nature a lot more, because and it's not just the United States. This is a worldwide type exhibit. I mean, it's just like the initials. Wow, that's what it is. I said that I don't know how many times last night. I bet there's been wow said more here today than anybody ever says any other time.
How much of your personal fishing gear did you get to donate or help out with this place?
Well, quite a bit. We do an awful lot for conservation, and we always have. Bill and Roland and I were very instrumental in helping pass the Dingell-Johnson years ago, which has raised literally billions of dollars for conservation. So we do a lot in that area. I mean, I told somebody, the one thing that some of the guys that like us that have been on television forever is we've turned back literally thousands and thousands of fish. When you think about it and you multiply that by all of the people that fish, that's true conservation right there, just releasing the fish back so you can catch it again sometime or somebody else can catch it again sometime. And so that's a big part of the game is catch and release.
I want to talk about the first time you met Johnny Morris and how your relationship has bonded over all the years.
Well, Johnny and I have known each other for well over 40 years. Johnny actually, way before Bass Pro Shop, Johnny fished the BASS tournaments, and that's where Johnny and I first met, was at BASS tournament. Johnny qualified for the Bassmaster Classic the first 5 years that the Classic was held. And I guess he decided he would rather sell fishing lures than be a professional bass fisherman. But Johnny could have made an exceptional living as a professional bass fisherman. And people like Roland Martin and Bill Dance and myself, and Johnny Morris, a few other guys that started back in the very first when BASS started, and some of those guys are, made their living out of the business. Johnny just took a little bit different route to it. And the great thing about Johnny Morris is he's really no different then than he is now. He's the same person now as he was then. He's very humble. He's still a good buddy to his buddies, just like he's always been. And if you didn't know everything that Johnny had accomplished in his lifetime, he would still be a good fishing and hunting buddy.
All right, we're continuing our part of the journey. We're moved over here to the presidential area. This is one of the coolest things. I did not know they made a Bass Pro One. Do you know this?
This is the actual replica of Bass Force One, which is a boat that Bass Pro Shop Johnny Morris gave President George W. Bush. And George W. has been a great fisherman. His daddy, George H., we fished with both of them. I actually met George W. when his dad was vice president under Ronald Reagan, which goes back way before your time. And we've been friends ever since. And I actually fished with George W. Well before he was even governor of the state of Texas, and he's been a good friend ever since. But Johnny Morris presented this boat to George W. Not too long ago. It seemed like 2 or 3 years back, or 4 years back. And this is a replica of that boat. And if you'll notice, this is Bass Force One. You have Air Force One that they haul presidents around in, which is helicopters and jets. This is what George W. wants to be hauled around in right here. And he don't want to be hauled around. He wants to be sitting right up there in the front of that boat, getting the first cast on a big bass. And he's got a great bass fishing lake and his place down in Texas. He sure does.
Do you have a favorite fishing story?
Well, I've got lots and lots of fishing stories and about lots of people. We fished with about everybody in the world, seems like, and it's a lot of fun it's just an honor and a treat for me to get to fish with people like governors and presidents, and to find out that they love to fish, to find out that they have the same passion that I have. I can tell you one real quickly that's really kind of cool about a real good buddy of mine I've been fishing with since the 70s, the guy that coached football there at the University of Oklahoma, but Coach Barry Switzer. And Barry, of course, coached the Super Bowl champs for the Dallas Cowboys. And we were fishing with Barry one time down in Texas on a ranch that we owned. And we was catching a lot of big bass on a Zara spook on a topwater bait. And Barry was having trouble catching them. Barry is a very good fisherman, but he was having trouble catching them. And I'd caught about 3 or 4 big ones in a row, and I'd made a cast out there, and I was working my Zara spook, and I wasn't watching it. I was talking to Barry about something or other, and about a 7-pounder blew up and caught it, and he said, well, I'm not impressed, Jimmy, I'm not impressed. You think I'm impressed? You wasn't even watching your bait. You didn't even know what was going on. So that's how it sort of got started. I understood he was a little irritated because he wasn't getting many bites. And so, anyways, I don't know what happened. And Pat laid the camera down. And Pat was shooting the show. He runs our production company. Pat was shooting the show. And Pat laid the camera down and picked up my rod and reel and made 2 casts and caught a 5-pound bass. And Barry says, nice bass, Pat. Now, set your freaking blah, blah, blah down and get back to filming. He had all he could take when Pat caught one.
I wanted to ask, we have a lot of entertainment coming tonight. Do you have somebody you're excited to see or perform?
Well, we've got great entertainment coming tonight, and the amazing thing about the guys that's coming, Luke Bryan, of course, loves the outdoors, loves to hunt and fish. My buddy John Anderson, is a great outdoorsman. My buddy Craig Morton, another one. I don't really know Corbin Easton, but my guess is he's an outdoorsman or he wouldn't be here. So we do have great entertainment coming tonight. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event to be a part of, and I'm so tickled to be here. We've been working with Bass Pro for many, many, many years. Johnny and I have been friends for a long time, but it's just an honor to get to be a part of this right here, because this museum is not only one of the wonders of the world, it's going to raise literally millions of dollars to make fishing and hunting better all across America, more than likely all across the world.
I want to thank you also for being a part of Legends of Golf too.
Well, I appreciate that. We had a lot of fun there. We had a lot of fun doing that.
I covered that for 2 years.
Yeah. The Legends of Golf is a great tournament, a great event, and for somebody like me, I had the opportunity to play golf and to fish with a lot of the great PGA golfers, particularly the ones that like to fish, and it's really special to me to get to meet some of the guys that when I was younger and playing golf some myself, looked up to and saw out there, and now getting to meet some of these guys at their older ages, it's just a real honor to get to do that. And to get to take them fishing too.
Is there anything we would like to talk about that we missed?
No, I think you did good.
Well, thank you, Jimmy.
I appreciate it.
Great place to take a photo right by George W. My man put his glasses on.
Perfect. You just tell them on his glasses, say when you're naturally cool, the sun shines on you all the time. I was pretty close to that too. See, they got women over here. Of course, you look at that name, you know why she's up there. See that Orvis? Yeah. That's one of the Orvis girls, and then this. I think they put 29 in to begin with. And of course, there's Ernest Hemingway, Zane Grey, Ted Williams. Oh, mercy! Think about that.